Welcome to the Transforming HR Analytics webinar. My name is Mike Cawthorne, Director and Business Solutions Lead at Catalyst IT Solutions, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Rob Walden, Head of MI and Insights at Travis Perkins. Rob is going to share their journey with us today. He's going to be able to talk about how speed to delivery has enabled their HR team to manage 29,000 employees effectively and quickly. He's going to talk to us about the £500,000 of technology savings that they've delivered through investing in Catalyst and Qlik, and also how they've been able to deliver self-service out to the business and to take people on a data literacy journey. So let's just kick off the session. So just a bit of background to Catalyst. So we're a Qlik Elite Solutions partner. We help organizations to accelerate their performance using our expertise in leading technology, which in this instance is the Qlik business intelligence solution. We've been delivering Qlik and BI projects really over the last decade. And we've become a Qlik Elite partner, and we're a Qlik Innovative Partner of the Year. So we have lots of credentials around who we deliver for, including Travis Perkins, the likes of Morrison's and MKM Builders and Croda PLC. What have we been doing with Travis Perkins? So for the last 4 years, we've been helping them as their Qlik solutions provider to really drive insight across that organization in a way that was quite tricky to do before Qlik was introduced into the business, because it was very much business objects reports centralized by IT and pushed out to people without necessarily engaging the end users. So we fully provide a platform that is based on the Qlik platform, but allows us to host all of the Travis Perkins data, which gives them a real advantage when being able to access and use that across the business. It's in the cloud. It means it's accessible to the right people at the right time. And using the Qlik solution allows them to drive the insights and self-serve. So where have we done that across the business? So we enable Travis Perkins and all of its brands, of which there are 20 plus brands within the organization, to deliver insights out to their internal staff, but also to their external stakeholders. So the supplier portal provided for 3,000 suppliers in their Wix business. And then we offer profitability and pricing analysis across the organization, staff utilization models to ensure that the right people are doing the right things in branches, the deal agreements and supplier claimbacks to ensure that they're able to manage customer facing agreements as much as the supplier facing agreements and everything that sits in between, again to drive profitability. Some quite detailed basket analysis, who's buying what from us, how much they're buying, what else could they be buying, to help manage and partner more with some of those big trading customers. And then the final one is HR, where we support Rob and his team to manage and provide insight to the 29,000 staff across HR. So without further ado, I won't steal any of Rob's thunder. He can tell you all about this himself, and then we'll take questions through the session. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Mike. Hi, I'm Rob Walden. I'm currently head up the Management Information and Insights team within Travis Perkins. My team and I provide insights, data, and strategic support to Travis Perkins' 29,000 employees. Today, we'll cover the journey we've been through over the last circa 18 months on transforming HR analytics. So to start with, we had somewhat of a burning platform as the contract on a HR system was due to expire, which enabled us to consider what the to-be offering should be. That change led us to consider whether we either replicate what we have or pivot and understand what our customers truly need. We already knew that our customers liked our reporting, they were happy with the content, but we needed to drive a better self-service environment, thus giving our customers the information at their fingertips, therefore moving reactive demand to proactive insight. The change led us to a new HR system, which was a very long and hard process. By going through that change, we moved into a more cleaner and logical architecture, which enabled us to sever old data integrations and create something much more logical, secure, and lean. By doing that, it also ticked the GDPR box, which ensured that we were complying with all the regulations around data storage, we could redact data, and we knew where everything was held. Then we could really then start to work on how we started to self-serve reports, or how individuals could self-serve their own reports, because we needed to get the data and the insight into the hand of our key stakeholders, thus enabling decisions to be made on the back of the data in real time, rather than adding to my team's already increasing reactive demand. And then from taking that time away from my team, it enabled us to then really focus on the insights. So how can we use our data to leverage group objectives? So on top of that, the world is evolving, as we all know. So it's clear that we're doing more with less resource over the last few years, and we need to accelerate more from here on in. With the examples being that Tesla now have the ability to run self-driving vehicles or lorries. Uber gives us transport or food at our fingertips, and Deloitte are frequently quoted with 60% of the roles which exist now won't exist in 10 years' time. And within HR, this is probably more relevant to AI, machine learning, and chatbots, as these are becoming more and more common, and we need to be part of this. So we changed, and we changed for the better. So like I say, we've got a new HR platform, and that enabled us to kind of get all of our data secured and locked down in the right way. And from here, we could set up a daily data extract of all of our HR records, so that we could send this through into our Microsoft Azure data lake, again helping us to comply with GDPR. But then more importantly, on top of the Microsoft Azure data lake sits Qlik. Qlik enabled us to create fully interactive reporting, a fully interactive reporting infrastructure, moving us from a much more rigid and reactive reporting structure to a much leaner and proactive insights platform. The added benefit of Qlik is that it is so easy to use. It makes the rollout process quick, and most importantly, giving our customers the ability to run reports or test hypothetical scenarios as part of BAU. Whilst I managed to make this sound quite simplistic and tell you it was not, however, we had Catalyst and my excellent team at hand to offer their technical expertise to ensure we had a seamless transition. This included moving and enhancing our existing code, helping stitching the as is to to be, so that is the data structures from the old to new, because some of the names may have changed. And we could help to develop the front end of those applications so that we could ensure that best practice is being applied to ensure that the information was user-friendly, easy to digest, and it optimized performance. In addition, Catalyst provided ongoing support, training, and they keep us aware of what's coming around the corner. So in terms of where we are now, we now have, well, from circa 4 HR users in the old world, which were just purely developers, we now have over 20 Qlik users across the group. And that number is growing because the appetite for information and insights is on the rise. On top of that, we have reporting. So we previously had to filter and copy down every scale variant of a report by structure, job, or another demographic. And following moving to the new landscape, we've applied end printing in the right way to enable us to copy and, well, enables end printing to do the copying and filtering for us, as we can create the base reports, and end printing can automatically trigger reports which split by a job, structure, gender, etc. At present, we have roughly 100 reports which are sent to a number of stakeholders across the group in different functions. On top of this, we have our big value add, and this is the fact that we've now created integrations directly to third parties through Qlik. This enables us to ensure that we've locked down the data again following GDPR guidelines. We can govern the data with strict SFTP requirements, which Catalyst support us with, and we ensure the data that is sent is relevant and removes the risk of a messy architecture. So on the back of doing all of this, we've managed to save a significant amount of money in the last 7 months. So to date, we've saved roughly about £500,000 from creating data interfaces directly to third parties, and there are more interfaces in the pipeline. All of these interfaces, again, are fully GDPR compliant, they're logically structured, and they mitigate risk. And this saving does not include the time saving that we've avoided by not using our IT department. We started to save on people, so currently my team's got 1 less FTE, and we're now looking at how that can apply across the wider analytical landscape, because that is the next saving we see as an objective. And then perhaps our most important business objective at this moment in time is to reduce time and reduce admin away from our core users, which will enable us to sell more, increase our return on investment, and it will enable us to start really focusing on the insights. So all feedback is good, and it enables us to change to meet business demand. And for those who use the tool, we had some fantastic pieces of feedback, and most people want to know more. However, finding the right people can be a real challenge, as data literacy is not currently a requirement for new recruits. So that leads us on to what we're doing next. So firstly, we've got this agenda around data literacy. We have a group agenda around this, and we now need to know how we can promote this data literacy within our existing colleagues, or bring that as a requirement into new recruits. We want to lead by example. So we've got certain users who are probably seen as best practice users across the group, and we want to bring those people together to share the way they're using the tools and start to demonstrate how they can deploy our tools into the right way to answer the right questions in a live example. Got geo mapping. So as with HR, we've got a plethora of data which look across the entire UK landscape, but we don't really apply that very well to understand, are there certain pockets of tension to do with labour turnover in certain parts of the country. And then lastly, we've got a lot of data, and we want to start correlating that more. So can we start thinking about how can we look at labour turnover but apply that against employee engagement, and then predict how and when employees may even leave the group. So this is an example of one of the dashboards that we've currently got set up. I'm not going to dwell on this too much, but to give a bit of an overview of what this reflects, the right shaded box to the left-hand side, these are the key filters which we have, which mean that we can quickly drill into the information to show specific areas, specific time periods, or look at specific job titles. Then the top level KPIs, they will drill or filter based on the filters that we've applied within the red box, and they will always show where we are at this moment in time, or unless we've specified a different year or date, and the same period 12 months ago. So have we got an increasing or decreasing trend? And then the middle graph shows the breakdown of the KPIs to show the trend over the last 24 months. So again, we can start to see if we've got an increasing, decreasing, or a static trend. Then here we've got a recruitment forecast, which is another app that we have within our current suite of reports. This is one of the real value-adding areas, so we can start to understand that what is our recruitment going to look like over the next 5 years? Can we look at specific job titles, genders, areas of the business to really understand where that recruitment's needed? So whereas previously we had gone out to the managers to ask them as to what their recruitment was going to look like, we can now get this immediately at our fingertips. So we can start to show where the recruitment's needed, so we can proactively recruit for those roles. And then as we start to set these recruitment forecasts as a benchmark, we can then start to see whether labour turnover is starting to reduce based on the insight that we're driving through the information.
Okay, so just to support some of the way that Rob's taken Travis Perkins and his team on a journey, part of the work that we do is around the data literacy program, and the key thing for us is to be able to drive this conversation within any organisation, and bringing that right back to the recruitment of staff within key positions to be able to take on board what data literacy means to people. So it's our ability to read, work with, analyse and argue with data. And how do you do that at the different levels when potentially you've got different personas within your organisation? So typically within our programme, we look at 4 different personas, from a data aristocrat, a data doubter, a data knight and a data dreamer. And the aim is to try and understand where people are and to help them on a journey to improve their capability in and around the data, which means that over time, you'll start to improve the ability for people to take those insights and drive real action, and actually start looking for the next level of insights and the new areas to focus on within the organisation. So quite simply, there are 6 steps to the data literacy program. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody that's on the webinar about this separately to go through what those steps are and how we can support them within their organisation. That concludes today's webinar around transforming HR analytics at Travis Perkins. I'd like to thank you all for attending and for viewing the webinar. And if you'd like to get in touch, then please contact me via LinkedIn or any of the other details that are available through the webinar. Thanks very much.